This update is a little hard to watch in the beginning, especially around the 3-minute mark, but I promise you'll want to stay to the end for a surprise feel-good moment. Just a quick recap in case you missed the first 2 videos. Hollywood was diagnosed with EPM and Lyme disease on March 27th, and the first 2 videos documented his devastating symptoms and how quickly this disease took hold of his body, as well as his progress through those first 2 months. As you can see, just walking through the poles there, he still has hind end weakness. One thing many people don't realize is that EPM can make a horse's skin extremely sensitive. Hollywood developed sores, hair loss, and even peeling skin in some areas, which is why I've kept him covered in a fly sheet and this belly guard, which the girls lovingly refer to as his lingerie. We continue to do daily work over ground poles. Sometimes we elevate the poles, trying to build back his coordination, knowing where his feet are, and his muscle. It's definitely a slow process. Another thing that I've noticed Hollywood doing more of is something called quitting. This is when a horse drops their feed or leaves behind little balls of partially chewed hay. Basically, they wad up the hay because they can't grind it properly, as you can see it here. And Hollywood does get his teeth checked every 6 months. And last year he lost that long molar, which you'll see in a minute. And this time around, the dentist found another loose tooth and pulled it. That's the shorter one in the picture that's coming up. I was really hoping that this would help, but he's still doing quite a bit of quitting, which means he may not be getting all of the nutrients from the hay that he needs. So to help with that, we're giving him soaked alfalfa cubes with additional supplements every day at lunch, just to make sure that he is still getting what his body needs while he heals. We still continue with daily walks. You can see he had a little bit of weakness on the hind end there. It is definitely a roller coaster. Some good days, some not so much. There we have some hind end weakness again. That's what really scares me when I do work with him. And I know there are ups and downs in the EPN recovery, but when we take steps backwards like this right here, it really is just heartbreaking to me. This was such a scary day. This was probably one of the worst days we had. You can see how weak he is on the hind end. My heart is just breaking for this boy. But I asked for a little help with him, and you can see that he, right after that, is walking much better. However, his stamina was not there. And she's just trying to keep him moving here so that he could stand, trying to help him get his footing. But he is so weak at this point. He just can't do it. But he's really trying. He's truly exhausted. This is really hard to watch, but I promise it gets better. He gets better. And would you believe, just 2 days after that heartbreaking day, this is Hollywood doing a little jog. I also wanted to show his body condition. You can see he is still ribby and has some weight to gain as well as top line. But his coat is improving and his skin conditions seem to be improving. We continue with our daily work groundwork, pole work, back and forth, day after day. And if you didn't believe me about the ups and downs and the good days and the bad days, well, here it comes again. We have had many good days walking straight, lifting his feet, stepping over poles, and then out of the blue, on June 8th, this happens again. Complete loss of control of his hind end. But we worked through it, and he continued to get stronger, and he did better the rest of that day. Patience. I'm learning patience. Good boy. On June 26th, our vet came back to do a recheck with Hollywood, and it definitely showed there was improvement, thank God. He still was resistant to walking with his head elevated, as you can see here. But he had become stronger, and even with the tail pull, he had improved on both sides, although he was still slightly weaker on the left side tail pull. Overall, our vet felt that his neurologic status had improved another 1 to 1.5 grades, and his neurologic deficits are now considered to be a grade 2 in the hind limbs, whereas he was considered a grade 4 back in March. A sign that he's getting better. Hollywood! Hello! So this is our update so far. As you can see, he is looking beautiful as ever. And we did get some blood work back that showed that his Lyme titers had all decreased, which is amazing. And you can see here we started using something called the Equiband system, so as he works, he can engage his body a little bit better. And here are the moments you've all been waiting for. My little sassafras of a Hollywood is back. Ready? A little moment of sass, but there's more to come. If you shed any tears earlier in this video, I promise you will be giggling and laughing by the end of it. Hollywood strong. You go, baby.
No, no, no.
So it's been a little over 2 months since our last update, and let me tell you, this journey has tested us in so many ways. But every tail swish,
No, rightly
every
care.
lifted
Got
hoof,
it.
every moment he finds that little Hollywood spark again, it's a win.
Good boy.
Thank you for continuing to follow his story.
Good boy.
Your support, encouragement, and kind messages truly mean the world to the both of us. Hollywood strong.